saying that things are looking really good for us, particularly on the ground. They don't agree with some of the narratives that are put out, but I think a lot of it is just strong message, strong record, and strong leadership going forward. And we had some great questions here today. I think that they're hitting on all the things that really matter, not only in terms of issues, but also in terms of some of the contrasts with some of the other candidates. And we were able to just articulate those in a very honest and frank way. And I think that they want to see people, Iowans want to see people that are going to reflect their conservative values. And when you have candidates that come here, say one thing, then go others and say others, that's a problem. And you can't have two of one candidate. You can't have Hawkeye Haley here saying she's conservative, and then more nuanced Nikki appealing to independents and liberals in New Hampshire. That doesn't work. You got to have the same message everywhere. Also, you had the question about Donald Trump and his kind of what's happened with his pro-life stance. Go back and read his March for Life speech in 2020 of January. He's talking very passionately about how every life's a gift from God, how this is a noble movement to protect life. Now he's trashing people like Governor Reynolds who've signed pro-life protections into law. Did he just not mean it then? Or has he changed his tune to now? Is he worried about the political winds? Is this not something that's a matter of principle for him? So I think these voters are identifying a lot of the contrasts, I think, in a really impressive way.
Governor DeSantis.
Do you think that former President Trump's commitment to the courtroom rather than the campaign trail is hurting him here with Iowa voters?
I don't know about that, but what I have said on all of this is the Democrats would like nothing better than to make 2024 a referendum on Donald Trump, a referendum on all these other issues, and then to avoid scrutiny for their own failures under Joe Biden. And that's true whether it's Biden or somebody else. So I just think it's not going to be something that's going to work well for our party. And you had someone ask about some of this stuff. All of this stuff, to me, is unfortunate, politically motivated, and I've spoken out very critically about all of that. At the same time, this stuff is happening, and it is going to exert, I think, a toll on Republicans' chances going forward. I'm actually the one guy that can deal with all this in the way that's going to make everybody on Republicans happy, because I can come in and clean house on day one without much of a problem. But the reality is the Democrats would like nothing more. They do not want the election to be about their failures. They want the elections to be about other things.
Governor DeSantis, Kate Cox, a woman in Texas, is suing to obtain an emergency abortion in the state. She's carrying a baby with a fatal genetic disorder. It's not expected to survive after being born. The state Supreme Court has blocked her ability to get that emergency abortion, and she wants to have this abortion not just to protect her own life, but her ability to get pregnant in the future. Do you think she should be able to have that abortion?
So I don't know the facts of that. I know Texas has laws that are a little bit different than Florida. The Florida legislature passed a heartbeat protection bill, but they included exceptions for rape, incest, life of the mother, victims of human trafficking, and then when you have these situations where you have real significant abnormalities. So that's what Florida did, and that's what I signed.
Governor DeSantis,
Two quick questions. One, since you mentioned it today, the president of UPenn resigned after that testimony before Congress about anti-Semitism. Your reaction to that? And then separately, Iowa's Republican caucuses have elected or picked 3 people: Cruz, Huckabee, Santorum, that did not go into win the nomination. Why is Iowa so important to you, and does that at all play a factor in moving forward?
So in terms of the pen, yes, that was absolutely appropriate. The performance of those presidents was absolutely abysmal. And it exposed what a lot of us have been complaining about for a long time, but a real rot in academia. And the fact that you could lose your job at Penn because you take a conservative position on a normal political issue, but yet you wouldn't be penalized for advocating the genocide of Jews. Those two things don't make sense. And when they're trying to justify saying it's okay to support the genocide of Jews because of free speech, first of all, that rings hollow because they don't uphold free speech in areas that conflict with their orthodoxy. So that's that. The second thing in terms of Iowa, look, I think all those races have been different than this one. You've already seen a coalescing of the field. This next debate, if they do, I'm going to show up, but it's only only going to be 3 candidates. Trump probably won't show up, even bother showing up. So you may only have 2 candidates then. So I think Iowa's playing a role of catapulting somebody to be in that one-on-one with Donald Trump. And that's why I think it's different. If you didn't have some former president, if you just had 8 candidates and you were doing it, who knows what the implications would be. I think every year is different. But I think in this year, this is the first time people are going to vote, and I think it's going to be something that's going to be really, really significant. And the one thing that I've picked up in every part of this state is Iowans believe that their vote matters. They don't want the media deciding that their vote doesn't matter. And I think that they look at a lot of these narratives like, wait a minute, we're going to make the decisions that we want to do. And I do think you have a lot of voters who are, somewhat, maybe for Trump, but not for sure. And all this is going to come to fruition over these next few weeks. And so I'm excited. I think you guys are going to have a great night to report on a lot of good stuff on January 15th. Thank you all. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate everything. God bless